Welcome to Washington State. If you're thinking about relocating to Seattle, specifically North Seattle, specifically Brier, Washington, then this video is for you. My name is Emily Cressey. I'm a local real estate agent, and as a service to my clients and future clients, I have created this channel to profile different neighborhoods in the greater Seattle area so that as you say, hey, I'm getting a job in Seattle or Bellevue, I'm moving here and I have no idea what's going on, then we have a starting place, a point of reference, and you can start to dive in and look at some of the neighborhoods. So if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. I encourage you to go and maybe look at some of our more zoomed out videos of what it's like in living in Seattle and what part of Seattle you might want to live in. And then as you kind of narrow in on, hey, maybe I want to live in the North Seattle area, has some advantages. Brier seems pretty great. Then you can come in and watch these neighborhood specific videos like this one so you can really get an idea of what Brier in particular is like and whether that would be the right thing for you. So again, here we are. I often start my videos with kind of a map orientation so you can get to know what the heck, like I've never heard of Brier. What is this? So here's Washington State. Here, the yellow star is the Seattle area. And as we zoom in, you'll see this little neighborhood right here is Brier. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. And for point of reference, I live down here just a mile or two away. So Brier is very close and I feel confident speaking about it. Now, one of the things that I want you to notice right away is that Brier has great access to both freeways. You can go to I-5 or you can go to 405 within probably a little faster here, getting on at Mount Lake Terrace, and maybe more like 10, 15 minutes to get out here to 405. But if you're going to be commuting into either city, I would say you could reasonably get there under an hour, maybe even closer to a half an hour, even during busy rush hour traffic. I live here, I get on the freeway, I can go into Seattle in about 35 minutes, at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's not terrible from a commute standpoint. You have a lot of flexibility here. Now, that being said, Brier itself is a very unique kind of protected, woodsy, almost rural feeling enclave in the middle of this like greater urbanized area. Brier has very large lots. They have big properties there, and they even have like a horseback riding ring in their local park. Although I have never actually seen anyone riding horses there. I have been to the park like a couple times, not all the time, but just interesting. I've seen a horse in Brier. It was a decade or so ago, but these are kind of the types of homes, the types of properties, kind of that hobby farm type of area where you just get a little bit more space, a little bit more privacy. And I would say it feels like a combination between fields and woods. You're not getting Iowa here. I mean, it's not flat, wide open farm country. You're still going to have a lot of trees and evergreens, but it has kind of a rolling hills, meadows and forest. It's very picturesque, desirable. It feels a little bit like a little taste of luxury, although I wouldn't say it's overly fancy. There are certainly some very nice homes here, and there are also some less nice homes. So it's great to consider if you like what you see on pictures and online, then you search for Brier homes and you see something you like, I think you could be very satisfied with the home and the neighborhood if you're open to kind of a quiet, relaxed, rural feeling, but close to things you need to get to kind of on the outskirts of the community. See, there's a Safeway. This is one of our major grocery stores. We have Safeway, Albertsons, QFC are kind of the main grocery stores. We have Fred Meyer, which is a grocery store within it's kind of like a super Walmart. We have kind of our high-end stores like Whole Foods, PCC. We have a Sprouts now in Linwood. Trader Joe's, things like that. Brier's great. There's not much here. There aren't too many restaurants. There aren't too many businesses. There's an elementary school. There's a library. There's a city hall. It's all pretty low rise and pretty residential. So I would encourage you to take a look at how you like to spend your time. If you like to spend your time at home, If you like your kids to be able to bicycle and walk around places, I don't know that they have sidewalks. I'm not promising you that, but it does have a very safe, although somewhat secluded type of feeling with the homes being farther apart. It will be interesting to see what happens in Brier because Washington State has just passed a law that says all lots that were zoned single family are now to be opened up for use for multifamily between 1 and 4 units. So if you had a house, like let's say you lived in Brier and you owned an acre lot and you had a house, technically you could now build multiple other houses on this property and have up to 4 houses there. Whether or not that would be subdividable or if it would become kind of a multifamily or a condominium type of situation is yet to be seen. Each municipality is handling it in its own way. Edmonds, for example, is really thinking about parking. Will there be room to park if we go high density? Will people still have their view? Like they'll still be able to look out and see the water. It'll be interesting to see. Brier is a city. They do have a city hall and they do protect the quality of the environment here quite a bit. So it'll be very interesting to see how they continue to protect that legislatively within the context of being forced into this higher density position in an area that's historically prided itself on being low density and having larger lots. So one of the ways that the city of Seattle is addressing this is by saying, if you have a lot, let's say it's a 1/4 acre lot that's only big enough for one house, technically it's too small to have 2 houses in it. Those can't be subdivided and like 2 separate lots. So what they're saying is you might have a house with a large backyard. You can build that second house in the backyard and have 2 houses on the same lot. But who wants to buy 2 houses on the same lot? That's kind of like, is it a landlord? They're going to rent out the one in the back, or is it for grandma? Like it's kind of an edge case. So what they're doing is they're saying these are too close to be single family houses, but they're not too close to be condominiums. So we're taking these 2 homes and we're tying them together in a condominium homeowners association. So now they are friends. They have some paperwork that they have to do together, like a shared insurance policy, some shared annual meeting minutes every year, and now they can be sold separately to 2 different people. It can be landscaped in a way to designate separate yards and things like that without actually having an individual lot line here dividing it into 2 lots. So this is still very new territory for us, but if you see something that looks like a single family home but is listed as a condominium, this might be the reason why. And I expect Brier will be fighting to keep the character of the city the way it's been. It'll be very interesting to see how this transpires. So check out Brier if you like that kind of my neighbor has a horse type of vibe, whether or not they actually have a horse. I was horse crazy when I was a kid. I wished I knew somebody that had a horse. Our neighbors down the street had llamas at one time, sheep, emu, those birds that look like ostriches. It's been rural in my area too for a long while, and now they're bringing in sewer. They have wetlands. They're allowing people to build small footprints there. So the area is changing. It's moving toward higher density. Brier has preserved that pretty well heretofore, and it'll be very interesting to see if that's able to be protected. But if you hate feeling like your neighbors are on top of you, you don't like looking into their kitchen and seeing what they're making for dinner, Brier might be a great place to look to get a little bit more privacy and a little bit better lot sizes. So take a look at that. And if you want help, matching up kind of your shopping list with the right neighborhoods in Seattle, I consider myself a real estate matchmaker. I am a real estate agent, and you're more than welcome to call or text me or hook up with me on my website, homeproassociates.com. We've got all sorts of other videos and PDFs and things for you there. Moving guide for Seattle, a lot of great stuff. So check out maybe the comments for this video and you'll be able to see some links. But until then, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.